Hi there, my name is Amanda Dudley, and today I'm going to be speaking with you all about early childhood education and how to become a certified early childhood educator in the state of Colorado. Children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. This famous quote has been emphasized for many years among educators, and there is consistent truth in its foundation. We were all children once, and I'm sure many, if not most of us, attended some form of preschool education. This early education is what prepared us for the more advanced schooling that was to come in later years. However, as many of us know, not all children learn the same way. A standardized curriculum approach may not be best suited for every child. This is where early childhood education comes in. Early childhood education is a holistic approach to education. It focuses on each child's individual cognitive needs and abilities. It was founded by developmentalists such as Sigmund Freud and Maria Montessori, and it has become increasingly popular over the years. Early childhood education teaches children through hands-on practical approaches, such as cooking and gardening. Some early childhood educators also involve activities in their curriculum, such as horseback riding or fishing or another outdoor activity. Anything that can integrate something from a textbook into a hands-on real-life approach is the goal of early childhood education. Currently, Colorado is ranked at a C for their educational standards. This is why the need for early childhood educators is so prominent in the state of Colorado. As long as we can start educating children early and from a young age, we will help them grow in their academic abilities later on in life. Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing 3 steps required for obtaining a licensure in early childhood education from a 4-year accredited university. The first step are the pre-collegiate requirements that occur during high school. The second step are the college requirements that occur prior to entry into an ECE program. And the third step are the college requirements that occur after entry into an ECE program. Lastly, I will be discussing the steps that graduates need to take in order to obtain their professional licensure post-graduation. While still in high school, it is extremely important for students to have a good GPA and ACT score, as well as demonstrate previous volunteer and leadership abilities. Right now, the average GPA for high school seniors is a 2.9 to 3.1, and the average ACT score is a 20.3. Universities such as Colorado State University hope to see freshman applicants with a 3.3 to 4.0 GPA, as well as a 23 to 28 ACT score. Currently, most Colorado universities do not require the SAT score for their admission process, but it is best to check with your high school advisor as well as the university you are applying to make sure that you do not need to take this test in addition to the ACT. Obtaining a good GPA and ACT score while in high school is very possible with the use of effective study skills. This can be techniques such as note-taking in class, as well as forming study groups with fellow students. These skills are very useful while in high school, as well as once you enter the college environment. Volunteer and leadership experience can be obtained through high school clubs and organizations, as well as helping out in the high school administrative offices and even becoming a teacher's aide in your high school. This looks very good on college applications because it shows that you're not only committed to learning, but you're committed to further bettering the community. This can also be good on college applications because you're gaining professional references from your teachers or those leading the school clubs and organizations, and they can account for your credibility. Once you are accepted into a university, there are prerequisite courses that you must take prior to entry into an ECE program. These courses typically consist of introductory to teaching classes, child and infant developmental classes, and legal classes concerning the Colorado education system. All of these courses must be passed with a C grade or higher. Planning for these courses must also be made in advance, as ECE programs are highly competitive. At Colorado State University, for example, over 200 applicants may apply during the given term for the ECE program, and possibly only 20 to 25 students will be accepted for the program. It is very important that you consistently meet with your academic advisor to ensure that you are registered for the classes that you need during the right time. That way you can be accepted into the ECE program come the time when the application is due. In addition, you must also maintain a high GPA for acceptance into an ECE program. Most programs look for a 2.7 to 3.0 GPA. One note I would like to make here concerns GPA declining from high school. While some high school students may have had a 4.0, this may not be the same case during their college experience. This is due to increased workloads and other obligations, such as holding down a job while in college. Many individuals are also learning how to be independent from their families during this time, so there might be added stress in their life. Maintaining good grades comes from using those effective study habits that you develop during high school, as well as participating in class discussions during lectures and visiting professor office hours. During this time, you can speak about the material that was discussed during class which helps you integrate it into real life materials, as well as you can also gain professional references from your professors during this time. You do need professional references for an ECE application. Most applications require 3 references. So this would be a great opportunity to be able to connect with other academic leaders. Finally, you also need to have volunteer experience in a childcare setting. Babysitting experience is usually not included, so it has to come from a professional place. This can be seen as a daycare or an elementary school or even a community organization, such as the Boys and Girls Club. Most universities require a certain number of hours. Colorado State University, for instance, requires 20 hours of volunteer experience in a children's facility within the past 2 years. So you must have one of the professionals who work there be able to validate that you did volunteer there during that time for the required hours. After you're accepted into an ECE program, you have approximately 2 years to complete your classes. During these 2 years, you will only have 3 semesters to complete the classes because during your final semester or term, you will be student teaching. Also, during the ECE program, you must pass the PLACE exam. The classes that must be taken include teaching classes, child developmental classes, as well as health and nutrition classes and safety classes. You may also be taking classes that help you deal with parents and families. In addition, ECE programs now include director qualifications. This is super important because it will allow you to handle the business aspects of a childhood center, which is really nice because if you decide later on to enhance your career in early childhood education, you will now have the opportunity to manage one in addition to teaching in one. Some universities also offer an even more holistic-based approach to early childhood education. One of these universities is Naropa University in Boulder. At this university, they integrate the spiritual, emotional, physical, and intellectual beings from a child by focusing on Eastern religious practices. Through these types of programs, you can gain a deeper sense of self while also learning how to educate children. During the PLACE exam that takes place during the ECE program, you are required to pass it with a 220 out of 300. The scale ranges from 100 to 300. The PLACE exam consists of measuring a student's ability as to how to approach an issue in an early childhood setting based on Colorado educational standards. So while it does not measure students on a right-wrong basis, it grades how the student arrived at their answer and what steps they took to complete the task or problem at hand. The PLACE exam can change dates and location every year, so it is important for students to figure out when it is being held and where as soon as possible so they can prepare and start studying for it. Study guides are available on the PLACE exam's website, and they are free of charge to students, and some universities also hold study sessions for the PLACE exam. You cannot student teach without passing the PLACE exam. Once you do pass the PLACE exam, however, you begin a process of student teaching. Student teaching replaces an internship and consists of approximately 40 hours a week work. Student teaching must occur during your last term of your senior year, and it is usually taken in accordance with a professional skills development class that'll help you learn how to handle the business aspects even more so in an early childhood setting. 800 hours of student teaching must be completed in the state of Colorado, and so this has to occur again during the last term of your senior year at your university. Student teaching, like I said, it replaces the internship, and it is a 12-credit class, so you are obtaining credit, and you must pay for student teaching as well, as it is part of your tuition. During the student teaching process, students are also asked to fill out questionnaires and evaluations concerning their experience, which is very helpful because it helps you determine what you enjoyed about the experience, as well as what you did not enjoy and what you could improve on, or whatever concerns you may have regarding teaching. Once a student graduates from the university, a recommendation letter is sent for them to the state of Colorado's Board of Education, and through this they are granted a provisional license. A provisional teaching license is valid for 3 years. During this period, you must complete an induction program under a mentor teacher. This induction program helps integrate you into the school district that you are currently working for, and also help you teach students in a classroom environment. A mentor teacher is there to guide you and answer any questions that you may have. Most induction programs last approximately 1 year, but some can last the entire 3 years of the provisional teaching license period. Evaluations are made for the teachers during this time, and if all goes well during the provisional period, students are granted their professional licensure, which is valid for 5 years. This license must be renewed every 5 years, and is renewed by the process of taking exams that include current standards for the Colorado Department of Education. Education is the foundation of our society. Every individual should be granted the privilege of obtaining an education, especially at an early age. ECE is a very rewarding field, and students must be passionate about education themselves in order to fulfill the requirements required for this career. From high school, students must be diligent about their own educational goals, and from there, students must be dedicated and motivated for learning. After passing the PLACE exam and having the experience to student teach and enlighten the minds of young children, this amazing journey of academic success will begin. Children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Thank you.